Good evening, everyone, and welcome to BSRTV for this round 4 of the Engineers Direct British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. My name is Andrew Woodhouse, and I'm joined from Virginia International Raceway by my co-commentator, Adam Bath. Adam, hello, mate.
Yes, good evening, Andrew, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brand new event for the Engineers Direct Touring Car Series here at Virginia International Raceway. We've never raced here before, and I can't wait for the three races that we're having here this evening.
Yep, the session has just got underway, so just a little bit of warm-up to go. But Adam, VIR, it's something completely different from Silverstone, isn't it? It's bumpy, it's tight, it's twisty. We mentioned that last week. What can you expect from these 3 rounds we have for you this evening?
Yes, we couldn't really get any further away from Silverstone. Silverstone, a proper modern Grand Prix circuit with runoff areas. Here, we've got grass, we've got tyre barriers, we've got trees. It's a completely different mindset for the drivers, and you've got to get the car set up right for this race.
Yep, I mean, it's going to be key. There's lots of flowing medium-speed corners here, and well, the Kia Optima is it well suited to this circuit, Adam? It seems like a difficult one for it.
Yes, you're going to see in the lap guide we're going to get up in a few minutes from Jamie Rushworth. It is quite hard to drive around here, but it does flow very well, and the Kia Optima does handle the corners quite well as well. So it's quite a good track for the Kia Optima.
Well, last time out, we saw some fantastic action with Ashley Sutton, Jeroen Kaiser, and Stefan Hoog winning races this last time out. Who do we think can take the top step today in this race one?
Well, Wojciech Savidovic, who took pole position a few minutes ago, he's definitely a shoo-in for a win in race 1 half. Ashley Sutton is up there as well, along with Stefan Hoog and Andreas Katz. Jamie Rushworth lines up in 3rd place on the grid. Harry's down in 16th place in the standings after having a dire race 2 and race 3. So he'll be hoping to gain those positions in the standings, which I hope might be on your screen in a few seconds' time. It's going to be quite interesting to see who advances through the standings in this race.
Yeah, we've got a few reserve drivers in, Adam. Can any of those guys bring a surprise?
Well, the reserve drivers are there to help the team's championship, so they'll be trying to get a good, consistent finish and hope to advance their team through the standings. To be fair, I think they just want to score as much points as they can, not really interfere with the pro drivers.
So, 15-lap races here. A lot of corners. Are tyres going to be an issue for these guys tonight?
Yes, it could be. We see so many corners in the tight, twisty infield section of the circuit. So by the end of the race, it's going to be who's handled their tyres the best that's going to be probably coming out on top.
I mean, obviously, it goes without saying, the front-wheel drive cars, the front tyres are going to be the ones taking the punishment. You've got to set the car up so it's balanced and it's not sliding too much at the rear, but also not putting too much pressure on those fronts. So, well, 20 minutes of warm-up here, so it's quite a while before we can actually take to the grid. So in 2 seconds' time, our esteemed producer is going to bring up the team championship picture for us.
Yes, and the team's championship. Now, this is very important because at the end of the season, the top teams in the Pro and the Pro-Am Championship will be receiving $300 in iRacing money. And at the top of the team standings at the moment is Team O. Now, last season, they were Chrome Restart and managed to win the championship mainly because every single one of their drivers managed to take part in the race. So that shows you how important this team's championship is, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the individual event that counts, and also looking at the grid here, seems like Team O are in a good position. They've got 3 drivers in the top 10, and only CQR have more than a single driver in that top 10. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Team O can come out of this with some good points. So we've got Stefan Hoog, who won race 1 at Silverstone, and also David Baker, who was 6th in that one, and Jeroen Kaiser, the winner of the 3rd round there. So Jeroen was quite a surprise winner in many ways, Adam, but got some real pace around this circuit.
Yes, usually race 3 throws up quite a bit of surprises, but Jeroen Kaiser did a great job in race 3 at Silverstone to win, and he's up there in 8th place today. He nearly won at Road America last season, so he is a known quantity in these races, so it's good to see him back up there.
Yep, and definitely going to be very frenetic here. It's short and sweet laps. 1 minute and 28 seconds there or thereabouts was the qualifying time. So not the longest track for these guys, but it's going to be races are going to be fast and furious. Going to see a lot of action.
Yes, because it is quite hard to overtake it, because I'm expecting it to be single file. However, in touring car racing, that can be seen as a good thing, because we're going to see guys lunging down the inside, banging door handle to door handle. It's going to be brilliant, and we've got probably about 1 or 2 key overtaking spots. Turn 1 looks like a good place, Andrew.
It does, and I was about to say that it's not the full VIR layout. It's the shorter section. It's the North Circuit, isn't it? So turn 1 is very much a mirror image of almost turn 1 at Laguna Seca. Little kink on the straight and down into a very tight, almost double apex right-hander, and then it goes off out into the twisty bits. So maybe 2 opportunities. There's one at the end in the middle of the lap. There's a roughly 90-degree right-hander which could provide a chance for the drivers. So we're going to have to see, but you never know. Even if the first race is, proving difficult for passing, then the guys are surely going to find their feet for the reverse grid races.
And we're currently looking at the Pro-Am standings, and it's a good job for Lugnuts Racing. They were 3rd in the Teams Championship, but 2 of their drivers are topping the Pro-Am standings at the moment. They're doing a brilliant job at the moment, Andrew.
Yeah, they had a good meeting, didn't they? And last time, and Linus was there up in the action, and also Walker as well. So they have a chance to win that Pro-Am championship if they can keep up the consistent performances.
Yes, and Julian Janowski, I think, is the highest of the Am Lugnuts drivers. The higher Lugnuts driver, I believe, is Linus Bostrom. Actually, no, sorry, Julian Janowski is the highest. He's starting in 14th with Bostrom in 17th. So they're hopefully going to try and work their way up through the order. I think I remember them doing that in Silverstone, so I expect them to be up there.
Yeah, you've got Aaron Gearing in 13th as well, so he's going to be there or thereabouts. Looks like a fairly balanced grid. There's about a second between the top 12, so quite a larger gap in touring car terms. But this is a very technical track, isn't it? Is that something you would have expected?
Yeah, the shorter tracks usually have closer times in between each other. We see the difference between pole position, less than a tenth of a second, and the whole top 11 are separated by just 1 second, so the gaps are definitely closer, and that's due to the tight and twisty nature of the circuit. Okay, so how do we get around this Virginia International Raceway? Jamie Rushworth is about to show us now in his Elite 220 car.
Used for this lap can be found in the video description. Hey, I am Jamie Rushworth, and this is a lap guide of Virginia International Raceway North layout in the Kia Optima. Brake just before the 3 marker and start turning in at the arrow marker. The corner tightens on exit, so be patient when getting on the power. You want to aim for the curb on the inside for the next corner. Enter turn 3 on full throttle and brake at the end of the inside curb, letting the car drift out right to set up for turn 4. Get on the power before the apex and run over the curb with the left wheels. Brake just as the tyre marks on the track start appearing for turn 5. Try not to hit the curb in turn 6 as the car will bounce. Lift off slightly and take a little curb for turn 7. You can take quite a lot of curb on the exit. Brake as you lose sight of the nearby trees on the left. Turn in fairly early and follow the curb around on the inside. Careful not to accelerate too early though, as you go over a crest on the corner exit which causes the car to understeer. This left-hander seems to have a slight bulge on the inside. Aim to apex by driving over the curb there. Turn in early for the right-hander and stay to the right. Brake just as the white paint disappears from view and start turning a little after you can see the curb for the right-hander. Get on the power early and turn left to go flat out through the next corner. Lift off and take plenty of curb from the next left, and brake just after the car has run over the curb and settled, ready to run over the curb for the next right-hander, and turn early for the final corner, lifting just a little bit if you need to. And that is how to drive a 1 minute 27.490 at Virginia International Raceway North Layout. The setup used for this lap can be found in the video description.
Alright, thanks again to Jamie Rushworth for that track guide, and that's certainly helped everyone navigate this Virginia International Raceway. So, Adam, Ashley Sutton took a 27-point lead after the first round in Silverstone, and I know there's a long way to go, but that's already a nice advantage for him.
Yes, he did an absolutely fantastic job at Silverstone. He finished in the top 10 in every single of the 3 races while others around him crashed. I remember Jamie Rushworth crashing out big time. He's now got a 27-point lead ahead of Simon Field, who had a good job in race 3, and Stefan Hug in 3rd place. But Linus Bostrom, Lugnuts Racing in 4th place. What a fantastic job by him. It's too early to say really who's going to be fighting out for the championship, but Ashley Sutton, the man who races in the MSA Formula 4 Championship, who won at Snetterton last weekend, he's doing a brilliant job leading the standings.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he won in the BSRTC, and he also won in real life as well, so he's obviously got some talent. But Simon Field, incidentally, was the only other driver who managed to get 3 top 10 finishes in last week's races. So it's really consistency that we're looking for, isn't it? It's not a coincidence that those two are at the top of the table.
Yes, and while we say that, points do definitely win prizes. Jerome Kaiser, after winning race 3, managed to jump 18 spots in the standings up into 7th place. So those top few places on the podium definitely help you get up there.
Yep, and 33 rounds in this season, so obviously there is a long way to go, but we just can't help still looking at the tables, still getting excited. Quickly running down the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. Again, Ashley Sutton ahead of Simon Field, then Stefan Hug is a further 15 points behind. Linus Bostrom in 4th, and Andreas Katz, Wojciech Savidovic in 6th, Jeroen Kaiser 7th, Laura Bond 8th, Adam Terry 9th, and Alexander Smolenski rounds out the top 10. So any surprising names there, Adam?
As I was saying earlier, I think Linus Bostrom is a big surprise there, because that is a Pro-Am run team, and it's good to see him up there as well. Laura Bond in the Elite 220, she managed to she lost out on a podium by a few hundredths of a second in race 2
wasn't it?
at Silverstone, after me saying that she would get a podium. So she's down in 8th place. She's doing a great job at the moment. And Adam Terry for the DEG Racing team. They're a new team for this year, so it's good to see him up inside the top 10. Outside of the top 10, in 11th place, Matt Walker. He is the highest of the Pro-Am teams, and he's only a few places away from the pro drivers of Smolenski, Terry and Bond. So it's good to see. He's another big surprise up there as well.
I think Matt Walker would have had a better weekend as well, but he got some damage, didn't he, in I think a couple of the races. So I think he'll be looking for a better outing today. I think those DEG cars as well, those red machines, they had a good debut in Great Britain, and now we've crossed the pond into America, and we'll see if they can continue that good form a couple of overtaking spots where you're going to have to be forceful. Adam, I think you're right. You're going to have to go door handle to door handle here.
Yeah, there's another overtaking spot as we go onto the northern section of the circuit. However, it is uphill, so you better get your gear choice right, otherwise you'll be dropping back further down the order. And also, just wanted to talk about the points that you get for pole position, winning, and the fastest lap. You get 5 points for each of those. If you lead a lap, you get 5 points as well. So the qualifying session we've just had, which Wojciech Savidovic just got pole position in, he'll have got 5 points, so that would have helped him in the championship somewhat.
Yeah, he'll have just gone ahead of Andreas Katz into 5th, actually, so that's where he's lying going into this race. There's a few reserve drivers in there. If they can make an impact as well, they'll be able to definitely help their teams in the championship, as we said. As for the weather, Adam, will that make a difference here, or are these Kia Optimas pretty unaffected by things like wind?
Well, over the last week, we've heard from the runners of the championship that this is going to be more realistic weather, so I don't know if that's going to affect the Kia Optimus. We're about to find out. We've got 5 minutes to go to the start, but the realistic weather, it's going to be interesting to see if that boils the tyres.
Yeah, I have to say, I've been looking forward to this all week. A cracking a cracking meeting last week, and hopefully this one's going to live up to it. But yeah, checking out that right-hander at the back of the circuit. I'm just watching Adam Terry and Stefan Slasher going through that uphill right-hander. Looks a bit off camber as well, so it's not going to be easy. Very easy to lock the front wheels and go straight on there.
Yes, as Jamie Rushworth was showing in the lap guide, you need to get your reference points really good, because there's quite a few trees there. I remember Jamie Rushworth saying for that right-hander that you're talking about, he had to use one of the trees as a braking marker and to help him get up that hill. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see if anyone can get the overtaking move done there.
Look like there are many braking markers around the circuit. I'm just having a little look, and it seems like I think they may only be into turn 1, so quite an unconventional course here in Virginia, but I think it's going to be a good one. We've seen it in the iRacing Grand Prix series before as well, and I think it's going to be very easy for these guys to go off the track as well, Adam. We've seen a few people locking up, going onto the grass in turn 1 and in the middle section as well. You've got to be really, really careful in places.
Yes, in the off week I was chatting to some of the drivers, and they were saying that the grass here at Virginia International Raceways is a lot more slippy than it is at Silverstone. So if you put a rear wheel into that grass, you'll probably have to plant the foot down on the accelerator to try and bring the car back around.
Yeah, these front wheel drive cars, at least you can do that. Normally you'd be toast in that situation, but you can get away with it here. So we've got about 4 minutes left in qualifying. So Adam, I just want to ask you for a prediction. Who do you think is going to win this race? I know you said Wojciech was potentially the likely candidate from pole position, so do you think he can convert that into victory?
Yes, I do, Andrew. I think Wojciech Savinovic is a shoo-in for this first race. However, Katz and Rushworth is a seasoned champion, as is Katz, so they'll be definitely trying to prove their worth by trying to get past him. However, the main thing I'm looking forward to is where they're going to overtake him.
Yeah, I mean, Rushworth, he showed good pace in the first race in Silverstone, but second one, a bit of questionable driving from him, and then after that he never really got going in race 3, so he'll be looking for those 3 top 10 finishes. I think that's going to be our thing to watch out for in the whole season, isn't it, Adam? This is who can get 3 good races in a race weekend to vault themselves up the table.
Yes, and the wild card in all of that is the reverse grid dice. You could be in a 16th or 17th place and then get 15th place rolled, and then you're starting 16th for race 3, so you do not want that to happen. Also, I've just been looking at the starting lineup. Another wildcard thrown into the equation is Ashley Sutton. We saw him do some spectacular defending at Silverstone last week, so expect him to be trying to muscle his way past Rushworth and Katz into the first corner.
It was spectacular defending in race 1, but then it was spectacular attacking in races 2 and 3, because I think that was, it showed some forceful moves, he really did. When you mention Ashley Sutton, I think that yellow car saw a lot of action. The third race especially, he got a bit of damage, but he still managed to bring it home in the top 10, so really is the key, isn't it? If you get into an incident, minimising the damage is a big one.
Yeah, it depends which bit of the car you hit. Some of it means you've got terminal damage, and then you get 0 points if you drop more than 2 laps down, and that will affect your championship massively. We see the likes of Adeko Lopez. He was doing a one-off race at Silverstone. He got involved in a bit of contact in race 2 and never managed to recover due to the damage he got. Also, remember David Baker, he had an amazing race 1, had a bit of damage in race 2, and now he's 27th place in the standings. So it shows you how crucial it is that you do not get too much damage on your Kia Optima. However, at the same time, they are touring cars and they do accept a bit of door handle to door handle action, so some of that will not do the car any harm at all.
Yeah, because remember as well, you could be at the mercy of the old black and orange flag, which can come out and ruin your day. We've seen that many times before. Going into the last minute of the warm-up then.
Okay, we're looking at the starting lineup. That's on your screens at the moment. So on pole position in the Apex Racing TV car is Wojciech Savinovic, and alongside him is Andreas Katz. Third, Rushworth. 4th, Sutton. We've been talking about them already. 5th, Stefan Hug. He's currently 3rd in the standings. He is in 5th place, and alongside him David Baker. He had a good race 1 at Silverstone. He started and finished in the same place. Adam Terry 7th, and the race 3 winner at Silverstone, Jerome Kaiser, in 8th, Plumley in 9th, and then our second place man in the championship, Simon Field, in 10th. So the championship contenders, Andrew, they're right up there at the moment.
Yeah, and it's good to see, all of them going to be fighting hard for a good result that maybe, given the look of the reverse grid dice, is going to give them maybe even start just outside the top 10, a chance of winning race 2.
Yes, and as you were saying just before the grid came up, turn 1, it's going to be quite a tricky spot. I don't think in the first race we're going to see anyone do some dive bomb manoeuvres. However, I could be wrong. We would usually expect that in race 2 and race 3. But yeah, you could be right. We could be seeing some big manoeuvres and hopefully not too many big incidents.
I've been watching turn 1 all the way through the warm-up there, and there's been so many people going off the track, but you've got to find the limit, you've got to find the breaking point. Interestingly as well, it doesn't appear that there are any grid hatchings on this course, which is another slight quirk of this track.
Yes, I think the only markings I can see, and they're very faint, are the motorbike grid hatchings. This, of course, as we saw in an episode of Top Gear a few years ago, this is a racing resort where you can go and do your good drivings. Right, we're going to have a look. Well, we'll keep an eye on what's going to happen through the first corner because the cars are starting to grid up. Wojciech Savidovic is on pole, and Andrew, we're getting ready for the start.
Yep. 44 drivers on the grid here at Virginia. It's going to be fast, it's going to be frenetic. Touring car action here on BSRTV. Any second now, the reds will rise, the red light will come on. And the green light is on. Savidovic got a really good start off the front row, and then just slotting in behind, you see Andreas Katz and Jamie Rushworth, and then you've got the yellow car of Ashley Sutton just behind. Into the first corner they go.
Yes, and
you see, sorry, yep.
Sutton down the inside, he's up into 3rd place. Fantastic. We did say he'd make up a few places off the grid. He's up into 3rd place ahead of Jamie Rushworth. It's Katz in 2nd place. Savidovic is leading.
Every single driver behaving themselves through turn 1. That is unbelievable, considering how tight and twisty it is. Those first couple of corners, Wojciech gets away well, and you can see Katz now. Is he going to have to defend from Sutton, who showed, in fairness, quite poor race pace in race 1 last week, but races 2 and 3 he was outstanding. Maybe he's right on it this week as the cars snake down towards this right-hander here. That's the aforementioned one. Uphill, slightly cambered, but not much. Then down this twisty back section.
Yeah, Savidovic is already pulling out a bit of a lead. It's line astern between Katz, Sutton and Rushworth, and in 5th place it is 5th is Stefan Hug from David Baker. So as we start to go down the hill now for the first time. Savidovic has got just under a second advantage. Will Katz be able to pull that back onto the front straight as we come round to complete lap 1?
I'm just up in the iRacing blimp there. I wonder if Alex can get this shot going, but you can see how twisty it is. The car's snaking their way through just a ribbon of tarmac through the green fields of the United States, and well, it's all looking green and rosy for Wojciech at the moment. Great start from him as everybody hit the breaking point into turn 1. Indeed they do.
Yes, at the end of the first lap, Savidovic is the fastest man on the circuit at the moment. He had a 6/10 of a second lead over Katz, Sutton 3rd, Rushworth 4th, Hug 5th, Baker 6th, Kaiser 7th, Adam Terry 8th, Simon Field in 9th, and rounding up the top 10 is Robert Plumley.
It does look like absolutely everybody has got through the first lap, which is great news in a touring car race. That could well be a record out of 44 guys unscathed.
Yes, and now I'm looking forward to see if anyone will start the attacking. I think they wanted to get through the first lap without incident. Now they want to get onto the back of the person in front and try and force a move.
What's Wojciech's pace been like in the long runs? Have you been keeping an eye on that during the week?
No, I haven't. However, last season he did win quite a few races. He ended up finishing 3rd in the standings, so he is a known entity. Last season was his rookie season, in fact, so that shows you how much of a good racing driver he is. Ashley Sutton is starting to close up onto the back of Katz, I do believe.
Yeah, and he's not losing Rushworth though in the Elite 220 car, so Jamie will be looking to make up for a poor second half of the meeting last Thursday night. he'll be looking to get on the podium here. And you can see Stefan Hug as well, last week's race 1 winner. He's almost coming under pressure from David Baker now.
Yes, these two teammates in the Team O car. David Baker, as we were saying, had a bit of a bad race weekend after race 1 at Silverstone. He is right onto the back, but I think we need to go back to the battle in the front because Sutton is right on the back of Katz. I wonder if we'll be able to force a move out soon.
Maybe down the next straight. They're going to come around this, but you're really going to find it tough to pass through here. As you see half a look from Andreas Katz, but you know how opportunistic Ashley Sutton is. He's not going to need much more than the car's width, is he?
No, and as we head through this S's section, this is pretty hard stuff, as Jamie Rushworth showed in the track guide video. I think Sutton's a bit too far back to have a look down into the right-hander, which leads onto the uphill section, but he's going to close up a bit under braking. And Savidovic isn't escaping with this lead either. We saw in race 1, Stefan, who run away with it after a Dacoba Lopez and Ashley Sutton and Rushworth are having their battles, but the gap is definitely not that big. The gap is around about 3/10 of a second between Savidovic and Katz.
Actually not really a very long straight, is it, down to that tight right-hander, so maybe passing is going to be more difficult than we expected. It might have to be on the main straight where it gets done, but can you stay close enough coming out of this downhill roller coaster like section? Can you get close enough?
Yes, Katz has got a good run, I do believe, on Savidovic. We're going to come across the line now. Does he have enough straight to try and make that effective? He comes across the line now. They did practically identical lap times. Actually, no, Katz was about half a second quicker as we head into first corner. Has his look down the inside, but doesn't do anything to get into Wojciech Savidovic. Sutton took a very wide line there. He tried to get the apex and the exit. However, it means he's dropped a few car lengths back, about half a second between Katz and Savidovic. As Katz has a look now, he wants to get the lead.
Does indeed. And Katz, he's another one that got into some bother in Silverstone, so he's going to be able to really wishing to get a good result here. But he's got Sutton behind. What does he do here, Adam? Does he go for Wojciech? Does he defend from Ashley? It's going to be a difficult one.
Yes, you do not want to race in your mirrors. You do not want to focus on the car behind. And again, Katz looking down the inside as we head uphill once again. And you want to attack on everyone as much as you can. However, that's bad news for Savidovic, because Savidovic has got to race in his mirrors. He's got to see what Katz is doing, whether he's pulling out to have a look down the inside or wherever Katz is. He doesn't want to get hit out by not looking in his mirrors where Katz is as we start the downhill descent once again.
Yeah, David Coulthard said if you keep looking in your mirrors, you're not going to be able to concentrate on your own race properly, and Wojciech looks like he's concentrating on his own race for the most part in that number 3 car, the Apex Racing UK entry. And well, let's give a quick shout out to Tim Mawson for Apex Racing UK, and 20th place for him on reserve duty, so that's a good effort from him. Also the championship leaders at the moment, Simon Field, who's in 2nd place overall, he's 9th. Adam Terry's 8th, Ron Kaiser 7th, David Baker 6th. So guys who are going to be up there, they're thereabouts for the rest of the season, you'd think, in the top 10 now.
Yes, and if we have a quick look at the top 15th to 20th positions, now these are the places that are going to get reversed in race 2. We see Smolensky in 15th, 16th Laura Bond. She was high up on the grid in race 2 thanks to that dice. 17th Russell Laidler, 18th Linus Bostrom, 19th Julian Janowski, and 20th Richard Wild. So some familiar faces there. They could be getting the roll of the dice and hopefully getting onto pole position in race 2. As Katz once again, he closes up on specific areas of the circuit. On the downhill stretch, Savidovic manages to pull away quite a bit, so we're starting to see that trend happen now.
Quite good under braking as well, isn't he? So he's getting closer and closer into the slow corners. But this downhill section here, Wojciech's got good commitment, good balance to that Kia Optima. See already lap traffic in front. Not sure who that is. It's a DEG car though, isn't it?
Yes, it's Steve Walker as we head into the final corner now. Out of it we go. I don't know whether Katz just ran a little bit wide there. Savidovic comes across the line, and well done, Steve Walker. Well, in fact, he pulls into the pit lane.
That's probably a good idea. Now he can let the whole field go by now, you would think. And not going to win the race from there, but he just needs to concentrate on staying on the lead lap, on 2 laps, down, so he can get his points.
Yes, Katz has now been lapping consistently faster than Savidovic. Last time round, Savidovic did a 1 minute 29.5, while Katz did a 1 minute 29.4. It's only a tenth quicker, but it's enough to make him get consistently closer to the back of the Apex Racing TV car. But we're starting to see here, Andrew, it's so difficult to get by.
Yep, and I think it's going to be the pattern, especially in this race one. Everybody's qualified on time, but I did notice Ashley Sutton made quite a sizable, he's gone over the grass there as well, sizable mistake going into turn one, lost himself about half a second, made himself slightly vulnerable to Rushworth, but again, it's going to have to be a gargantuan lunge to even try as look, Rushworth getting right under his gearbox now, and we'll see whether he can do anything about him. But again, it's fast and flowing layout, there is no easy passing place, but Rushworth, well, the champion in his own right. If he can be brave on the brakes, who knows?
Yes, and this mistake by Sutton is starting to back these two into Stefan Hug, and Sutton's been doing quick lap times. He lapped quicker than Jamie Rushworth, so that mistake that he made into turn one is definitely causing him to slow down here. We see Katz and Savidovic now, they are now over 1.5 seconds ahead of this squabbling duo as we come around to clear number. We're going to get 9 laps to go here. Rushworth is not close enough here, is he? You know, he can't ever go down into the first corner, surely not. The gap now between the first and second is just
think about it. No, getting very close though. So he knows, sorry Adam, he knows where he can attack Ashley Sutton. He knows that he's good on the braking as well.
Yes, and Jamie Rushworth now is very close to Ashley Sutton. Maybe the back straight is where you should be doing. Oh, Katz goes off. Yeah, Katz goes through the sand and he's now with Sutton and Rushworth. Savidovic has now managed to pull out 1.5 second lead over Katz. Sutton and Rushworth now have a chance here to get second place.
Already seems like a slight pattern going on with Katz this season so far. He's had good pace all the way through. Rushworth, he is very close, but you just can't risk it. Have a little look further back, you can see Robert Plumley in 10th, and then he's heading a bit of a train to a similar situation to like it was in Silverstone. Plumley ahead of Daniel Kraft for Engine Oils Direct, he's going well. Also Ben Gregory. Gregory had quite poor race pace last week. Adam, we'll be looking to have a much better finish than he did last time.
Yes, and this is really a battle for the top Pro-Am car. We've got the likes of Dan Kraft. He is one of the hang on, let me have a look at my Engine Oil Direct thing. Dan Kraft is a pro driver. However, in 12th place Ben Gregory, he is one of the AM drivers. 13th place Aaron Gearing, he is another AM driver as well. And 14th Dan Hunt. Now Dan Hunt is a pro driver, yes, but it's going to be interesting to see who gets on top and gets the points towards that Pro-Am trophy. Yeah,
Daniel Hunt, another DEG car. Oh, somebody's off. One of the DEG cars is off just in front, and that was Adam Terry. So Adam Terry now drops behind. Oh no, he was already behind Simon Field. In fact, he hasn't lost any places. He's just lost about a second of time getting onto the grass, and that's what Virginia can do. You can get sucked out onto the grass, and it's very difficult to return from it.
Yes, we saw in the news today that Monza's getting tarmac's runoff area, which makes part of me die inside.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, we see all these acres of grass here at Virginia International Raceway. It's brilliant because it acts as a deterrent. You know, you slow down, if you're going to go off. So if you're at a place like Monza, you know you can make a mistake because there's a massive area of tarmac runoff area for you to go over. So this is what makes Virginia International Raceway such a challenging racetrack.
Yeah, it's intimidating. It punishes the drivers, but they know that even if they go off the track, you know, they're not in immediate danger of hitting something hard, but they're going to ruin the race, and that's how it should be. You know, you want to stay on the black stuff. That's what it's all about. You don't want more black stuff outside the black stuff.
Yes, we saw the lead group having to get past one of the DMR cars there. I don't know which one that was, but that has bunched the field quite a little bit closer together. Jamie Rushworth, I think, is as close as he's ever been to Sutton. Has a look down the inside, but Sutton's very late on the brakes in his CQR car and manages to stay in third position. We're entering the closing stages of this race. We're on about half distance here. 15-lap race. Yeah, that's gone by pretty quickly here. Can Jamie Rushworth drop back a little bit now? Stefan Hug is keeping a watchful eye in 5th place.
It seems like Andreas Katz has retained his composure somewhat as well after he was victim of himself again, unfortunately. But he can maintain second place, and that'll be a good result, and it'll be a boost for his confidence, won't it, Adam?
Yes, Katz is currently in 5th place in the standings, and he'll be hoping to gain a few positions by finishing in second place. Savidovic has checked out on the rest of the field here. He did a last lap time of 1 minute 29.9, which was nearly a second quicker than Katz last time around, so he's running away with this lead at the moment. Hopefully, if everything goes right for him, that should be a win, unless something major happens to him.
So, David Baker as well. Last week he was 6th, started 6th, finished 6th. This week, well, he started 6th, and guess where he is at the moment? He's 2 seconds behind Stefan Hoog, and he's 3 seconds in front of Simon Field. David Baker, well, he only needs one more. He's heading for the number of the beast.
Yeah, still sixth right now, and he's in a bit of his own battle at the moment. It's 2.4 seconds to Stefan Hoog, and then it's 4 seconds to 7th place Simon Field. However, a battle I think we should have a look at, Andrew, is the battle for 10th place. Robert Plumley is having to defend to the inside, and alongside him is Dan Croft, with Ben Gregory in the Team O-Car nearly bump drafting him across the start-finish straight. We're going to go into turn 1 side by side. Who's going to get this position? Is Dan Croft going to go around the outside of the CQR car? I think he is. They're going to be side by side.
Bit of contact. Only a little bit, but Plumley defending really, really well. He can get that power on. Can he cut in front of Kraft going into this left-hander? That's really nice from him, and Plumley retains the position. But what this is doing, look at this now. We've got a six-pack challenge in the middle sector, and then it's going to bring potentially another 4 or 5 cars with them. There's some contact behind, or was it just a spin? It was one of the Lugnots racing cars. It's hit his teammate and also forced another teammate, Julian Janowski, off the circuit. So disaster for Lugnots. You've
more
got
cars off. Sorry.
Malensky, who was in the reverse grid pole spot, and Aaron Gearing are off, so they've lost tons of places.
Yeah, what a nightmare for Lugnots Racing. 1 minute, one of their cars was off, then nearly 3 of them were off as well. I think it was Aaron Gearing that had a bit of contact with Smolensky, and that resulted in them dropping down the order. And I don't know whether the Lugnuts cars went off in sympathy, but blimey, that's damaged Lugnuts Racing's race at the moment.
Well, Daniel Hunt's got a lot of damage. It looks like Plumley. There's that Plumley going slowly, and he's almost dropping behind his teammate Russell Laidler. So Plumley got some. Looks like he's got some steering damage, Adam. He's not getting around the corners well at all.
And I think he might have had a bit of contact with Dan Croft, because Dan Croft is now languishing down the order in 16th place. Hopefully, our director Alex will get some of the replays up to show for you. But
still a long way to go, though, Adam. If he's planning to get to the finish with that tracking like it is, it's going to be tough for him. But yeah, no, I think what happened was the Lugnuts. Oh, there he goes. There goes Plumley off the course completely. But I think what happened after the initial contact, Adam, I think it was Walker, wasn't it? Who tried to sort of get out of the way, and his teammate just brushed past him, which forced Janowski off the circuit. So it was very, very close in there. But there was nothing really either of the other 2 Lugnuts cars could do.
Sorry, Andrew, while we're looking at that, Stefan, who got massively held up by Saltonmacher through the tight and twisty section. That's meant he's now massively behind the rest of the pack. Contact! Is that Katz?
I think it's Katz. And now Rushworth and Sutton side by side. Sutton tries to give him a little bit of a love tap. Once again, Ashley Sutton's Kia Optima is in a state. As you can see now as well, Katz has come back on the track just in front of Hoog, and the Swiss driver has to take to the grass.
And this has allowed Jamie Rushworth to get into second place. What went on there?
Oh dear, I didn't see it. To be honest, I was looking further back, but it looked like a slight bit of contact. But Sutton looking, here's a replay.
Yeah, and Sutton just goes into the back of Katz. Katz goes flying across the grass on the inside, and then has to go straight through the grass
and
on
the
the
outside.
outside.
By side now. Sorry, Adam. Sutton going around the outside of Rushworth. That is an epic move. There's fantastic driving by Ashley Sutton around the outside. Do not do that on that corner.
Yeah, and Rushworth now wants that place back. I was looking at the replay whilst that happened. Hopefully you saw the replay as well at home. But Sutton is now up into second place ahead of Jamie Rushworth. Savidovic, meanwhile, has now managed to extend his lead to nearly 6 seconds over Sutton in second place as we head up the hill. We've got 4 laps to go here. Can Jamie Rushworth, who's quite a sensible driver, doesn't get involved in any major contact, can he force the issue and get that second place back?
Well, he's got a good chance, and we'll see. I mean, he's good on the braking. Could be slightly enraged by the contact. If indeed he was he involved in that? Did he get a piece of the contact there, or did he come out of that unscathed?
Yeah, he was one of the major beneficiaries of it. It was really only Sutton and Katz that got involved. I think Sutton either missed his braking point or something because he just went flying into the back of the Karsha car, which ended up going off the circuit. He's now down in 4th place. Could he be a factor in the closing stages of this race? We've now got 3 laps to go.
Sutton's car looks horrible, and he must have some aero damage because he's very slow on the straight, and Rushworth's going to go for the inside, then to the outside. Can he outbrake him? Can Sutton get it stopped? He can. Rushworth trying around the outside. That is the long way around Jamie and Andreas Katz. Focaccia is now looking on the inside. They're almost side by side into the left-hander there, and there's a bit of contact, I think, but Katz manages to survive. Stefan Hoog is there. Goodness me, late action. Not much happened in the first half of the race at all, but it's all kicked off.
Yeah, Jamie Rushworth is just hanging on to 3rd place. I think you're right about the damage for Ashley Sutton. I saw him putting a wheel into the grass on the outside of the circuit. Katz is now falling into the clutches of Stefan Hoog in 5th place. Sutton still in 2nd. Jamie Rushworth 3rd, Katz 4th, Stefan Hoog in 5th. But Jamie Rushworth runs a bit wide once again. Katz is right onto the back of him as we head through this fast left-right section at the top of the hill.
Yeah, no, it's single file through there, isn't it? And there's no way through at all. He's going to have to wait now until he gets down into turn 1, it looks like. And this is allowing Sutton to just creep away again with the damaged car. We saw in Silverstone how he seems to be able to drive round the damage, doing it once again in good fashion.
Yeah, Katz is now trying to set up Jamie Rushworth. I've watched him through this final few corners. Yeah, he's now going to be in the slipstream of the Elite 220 car. Jamie Rushworth trying to disrupt the airflow as we can cross the line. We're on the last lap but 1 now. 2 laps to go here. Katz has a look down the inside. Is he going to be hard on the brakes? Rushworth's late on the brakes as well. And Stefan Hoog nearly goes into the back of Katz as we head through turn 1.
The carbon disc glowing. They're crying under braking, but you can see that this pack actually closed up on Sutton down the straight, but Sutton seems to still have good handling through the fast bits. So just going to look a little bit further back, Adam, if you keep an eye on this one. David Baker still in 6th on his own, Simon Field 7th, Jeroen Kaiser 8th, and then Adam Terry heading a train of Gregory, Hunt, Laidler, and that's the lap car of Saltolamakia. So Laura Bond in 13th, Daniel Kraft 14th, and then Kardich 15th. He's reverse grid pole material potentially at the moment.
Yes, and Katz is now starting to fall into the clutches of Stefan Hoog. We said that a few minutes ago, but Hoog is really on the back of the Karsha car. We're now heading down the hill now. We're about to start the final lap here. Katz has dropped a bit further back from Jamie Rushworth, but further back, that's only 0.3 of a second as we head into the final corner. Now Wojciech Savidovic has got a 5.2 second lead over Ashley Sutton as we come around and start the final lap. Can Hoog do anything about Katz? Katz is definitely too far back to do anything about Rushworth, so this is the battle for 4th. Hoog is in the slipstream, down the front straight, last lap, white flag in the air. Can the Team O car get 4th place? He's looking down the inside. Katz will defend the inside line. Can Hoog go around the outside into turn 1? Katz is back on the racing line and he's going to force Team O driver Stefan Hoog out wide. That was pretty defensive driving there.
Yeah, and Hoog couldn't do the cutback through that corner, so he does have slight damage to his rear wing, does Andreas Katz, perhaps unsurprisingly. But Sutton, as there's a car off in front of those guys, do we know who that was? Was that a back marker?
So I think it was Tim Mawson driving as a reserve driver for the Apex Racing team, I think, as we head through the S's for the final time. Sutton is just got enough gap, I'd say, to hold on to 2nd place as we head up the hill. But Hoog has a look down the inside Katz as we start to go up the hill. He's going to have to try and do something mighty to get past, but Rushworth makes a mistake.
The back marker as well, Colin Steele and Mawson as well. You can see that Katz is just aching to try and get past, straining every sinew here as Wojciech, he's not far away from victory. He's only got a couple of corners to go down the hill through the right-hander, and he opens up the throttle, and Wojciech Svidovic is going to come through, and he's going to take victory in round 4 of the Engineers Direct Touring Car Championship. He loves it, and why not? Ashley Sutton in 2nd, 3rd Rushworth, and that was ever so close. Andreas Katz took 4th place ahead of Stefan Hoog. Really good race in the end. David Baker in 6th, Simon Field 7th, ahead of your own. Then Adam Terry, we're going to have to wait a while for him to come through. In fact, it's Ben Gregory that comes through and takes that 10th place ahead of Adam Terry. Then it was Gearing, I think. So, very, very close. Wasn't Gearing. Gearing's not showing on the timing screen, so he ended up going 5 laps down. Terry in 10th, Hunt in 11th, Laidler 12th, Laura Bond 13th, Dan Kraft 14th, Mark Kardich 15th, then Janowski, Hefford, Newman, Plumley, and Burton. So it's those Kardich, Janowski, Hefford, Newman, and Whitehead and Burton, that are going to be the reverse grid candidates.
Yes, and since Wojciech Zawidovic led every single lap, he'll be taking 10 bonus points with him into the next race, as well as the points he gets, the 100 points he gets for winning the race. So well done for Wojciech Zawidovic.
Yeah, he's going to be climbing the table. I think he's only going to make 1 place though, because Stefan Hoog did finish in the top 5, so he might get in there with the bonus points especially. So going to be those guys at the moment: Sutton, Katz, Hoog, Baker, Field, Zawidovic, all with good starts to the season so far.
Yes, and what a nightmare for Lugnut's Racing. I think Linus Bostrom ended up finishing in 33rd position, so that little bit of contact plus some more incidents for the Lugnut's Racing team not helping their first race here.
1 lap down for him, 23rd for Matt Walker. Poor outing really, and unfortunately just the wrong place and the wrong time. Bit of contact in front, and that just did for them. It just shows the tight and twisty nature of this circuit. If there's a car in the track, there isn't really anywhere to go.
Yes, and Lugnut's Racing had such an amazing start to the season. They were 3rd in the overall standings behind Elite 220 and Team O in the championship. So I don't know whether that's going to affect their championship, because CQR and Apex Racing TV, along with Engine All Direct, they had some pretty good races.
They did, I'm sorry about that, mate. I'm just choking away in the background. Yeah, fantastic race in the end. Just shows some hard racing at the front. Quite a sort of, quite a monotonous start to the race, but everybody, it's good to see so many guys finishing the race on the lead lap. We had nearly 30 cars same lap as the leader, so it was a good quality race in general, only a couple of incidents, and I hope that it's going to be like that in race 2. So,
shall we try and get a word with Jamie Rushworth?
Can do indeed.
Well, we'll try and get a word with Jamie Rushworth later. It doesn't seem the privileges are working for us. But race 2, we're going to roll the dice in a minute. I'm sure our cameraman Alex has got the dice ready to determine which one of 15th to 20th is going to be on pole position.
Yeah, hi chaps, good to be back. I definitely feel like the lottery man, I tell you. Just same as before. Let's do a few 3 random rolls and see who's going to be the lucky driver to take that pole position. So the first of the test rolls brings up car finished in 18th, and the second would have been 19th. Sorry guys, the final test roll would have been 18th. Here's the big one: who is going to get pole position? 15th place finisher, that was Adam?
Mark Kardix, he will be going on to pole position for the second race.
I feel sorry for Peter Newman, he got his number called twice there and nothing happened. Alex, just before you go, mate, what did you make of that first race?
Yeah, brilliant first race. Yeah, very, very tricky track. So I think this is the first time the guys have been here as well. So I think I saw, in the background, drivers were having to sort of get this track for the first time, bit of testing and that. So yeah, great performance. That first lap, really impressive. A couple of guys struggled at the back of the field, but this is so narrow to get all those cars around there for those first few laps.
They did really well.
Without any kind of major contact was amazing.
Yeah, it's a different layout to the one you're used to. Anything you noticed about the track and how the guys were approaching it?
Yeah, oh wow, yeah, very different. Obviously, I'm used to the full version. This short north one with that little uphill section, there's some tricky sort of blind corners in there, and looked like the guys all done their homework and what they were expecting. So, yeah, I expect this reverse grid order is going to be pretty amazing watching these guys fight through from the back.
Right then, chaps. Well, thanks very much for the broadcasting help in the first race, and we're looking forward to reverse grid race 2. So, Adam, just quickly, what did you make of that, and what are you think you're going to be looking forward to in race 2?
Well, race 1 usually is the calmest of the three. However, it was a bit of a slow burner, wasn't it? We saw them go line astern for around about the first half of the race, and then in the final few laps, it all started to come alive as we saw Ashley Sutton try and muscle his way past Andreas Katz. That didn't go well. I think the races can only get better from here.
Yep, and I'm sure the reverse grid with some of this slightly slower drivers at the front is going to provide fireworks. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back very, very shortly, sort of 5 minutes time or so, for race 2. So guys, stay tuned to BSR TV. We'll be back very, very shortly.